Okay, so we got UFC 311 coming up in a few weeks, and today I want to specifically talk about the featured bout of the pay-per-view, Jamahal Hill taking on Jiri Prochazka. Dude, this card is so damn stacked, and this fight's going to be insane. I really don't see a world where it goes to decision. And I know y'all see the title, okay? We live in a sad reality, okay? As a Jiri fan myself, he's about to get KO'd very brutally again for like the third time in a row. Bro, it's going to happen, okay? Don't let Jamahal Hill's delusion fool you, okay? He's a very good fighter, and he's a bad matchup style, or bad style matchup for Jiri, bro. It's not going to be good. And delusion is the best base for MMA. I don't want to hear it, you know? Jamal's doing something right, obviously, here. But obviously, I do not agree with him, okay? He's an idiot. He's delusional. He's not right. That stoppage or that finish was not controversial at all. Alex just knocked you the fuck out, bro, in the first round. It happens sometimes, okay? And you have to accept it. You know, it wasn't controversial. Herb Dean did the right thing. You just got KO'd. You weren't focused, man. Anyone agreeing with Jamal saying it was a controversial stoppage, bad reffing, you're just retarded, okay? Just accept it, okay? It happened. It doesn't matter. You can move on. Jamal, you're going to get through this, I promise, buddy. You know, but let's actually talk about the build-up first before we get into the actual fight and how I think it's going to go. Let's talk about the Twitter beef because Jiri is not happy, okay? They're on Twitter. You know, Jamal's always on Twitter. He's a Twitter warrior. I love how the fighters call us Twitter warriors, but some of them are worse than us. You know, he's on Twitter replying to every hate comment he can find, telling them why they're an idiot and why they don't know shit about our sport. You know, it's just like, dude, just go train, all right? Just get off Twitter, all right? But you know, Jiri making a video saying, keep my name out your mouth, bitch. Like, he's pissed, okay? So I think emotions are going to be very high going into this matchup. It's going to be a fun fight week, a fun build-up. This is just the beginning of it. So yeah, obviously Jamal's clapping back, clowning him for getting KO'd twice in a row by Alex. You know, he's obviously going to say that. He can, okay? It's a good comeback, obviously. But then you have him saying just some delusional ass shit. I got caught, you got dominated, there's a difference. Bro, you got knocked out in the first round, okay? Like, at least Jiri was able to take some hits and get rocked and come back. You got rocked once and then got TKO'd, you know? If anything, I'd argue Jiri did a lot better. At least he lasted longer. So, I don't know what he's talking about. That's just straight up delusion. But again, that delusion works sometimes, okay? This is a good thing. And again, that stoppage was completely fine. That reffing was completely fine by Herb Dean. I'm someone who's very harsh on Herb Dean. I think he's a terrible fucking ref, okay? That's going to get some people mad. But he's a terrible ref. He's literally having a controversial decision or doing goofy stuff like elbowing a TKO Dustin Poirier on the ground. Like, what are you doing sliding like it's first base, bro? What are you doing? Like, you don't need to do all that. Herb Dean thinks he's the main character. It's so cringe. And the only reason he won Best Ref of the Year and all y'all casuals say he's your favorite ref is because you can't name another one. You know, he's the only ref you can name by name, okay? It's fine. But it's just the truth. He's not a good ref. You're not a good ref if you're having controversial things happen every card you're on, okay? Literally every card he's on, he has some bad stoppage, early, late, whatever it is. Now talking about the actual matchup and how I think it's going to go, okay? Unless Jiri has been secretly working on his defense, you know, all we get from him are videos of him shadowboxing while walking on a treadmill. Like, does this dude even train with people? Like, I know we're not going to see much of it because a lot of fighters like to keep that shit on the down low, but bro, does he even train with people? It's so weird. All we see of him is hitting wood planks and walking on treadmills backwards. It's so stupid. But yeah, again, unless he's working on his boxing defense a lot and changed his mindset, which I know he hasn't, and he's actually going to keep his hands up, which I know he isn't. Unless that's happened, unless that's going to happen in this fight, he's going to get KO'd badly, bro. Like, it's going to be bad. I genuinely don't see this fight going past round 1 or 2. Maybe the late second round I could see, but especially if these guys are both plotty at first, both coming off brutal KOs, you know, it could happen. It happens a lot with fighters. They don't really want to strike. They're a bit scared at first, a bit skittish to fight, you know, a little bit plotty. I could see that, a very plotty first round. Hopefully not. I hope the fight's really good and it lives up to expectations, but I could see that happening. A plotty first round where both guys are just scared of each other, scared to commit to anything. But yeah, there's not much to say about this matchup, honestly. I just really wanted to make this video to talk about Jamal's delusion. I'm going to be real, but this is the excuse to do that. Yeah, I don't really see a world where Jamal loses this. As a Jiri fan, as a not really Jamal hater, I think his delusion and his shit he does, his antics are kind of funny. It's kind of entertaining. I kind of like him for it. We need some clown to laugh at, okay? Each division has to have one, and he's our clown, you know? I respect him for taking that role. You know, it's a bit demoralizing, a bit embarrassing to do, you know? So, props to him. So yeah, I could see a decently plotty first half of round 1 where both guys are just kicking at range, throwing some jabs. Yuri's doing his same old bullshit where he's just stepping in and out of the pocket. Like he thinks he's MVP, but he's actually kind of slow and plotty and not really that fast with his hands. Like Jiri is good. He was a world champion. He's obviously good, but the fight where he actually won the belt, he kind of got dominated for 5 rounds against a 42-year-old Glover, and then he got a finish at the end of the fight. So his belt, his claiming of the belt's kind of whack, it's a crazy moment, and he won the fight, obviously, but he got dominated. You know, he was getting pieced up and dominated with the grappling by Glover. I think Jamal's grappling will be way better if it does go to the ground. His wrestling, maybe not as jiu-jitsu, but his wrestling's way better, and wrestling beats jiu-jitsu 9 times out of 10. I could see Yuri's craziness and unorthodox striking be trouble for Jamal. You know, Jamal kind of tends to get wild on the feet, throwing crazy, wound up just hooks from the side where his head just leaning back. He did that against Johnny Walker and got him the KO, but Johnny Walker, I think, had a chance of KOing him just as much in that fight. But Jamal Hill's chin is underrated, okay? His toughness and his chin is very good. That was the first time he's ever been KO'd or even really rocked in his career. I think I'm quoting him. I think he said this shit. What am I doing, bro? But yeah, that against Alex, that was the first time he's ever been knocked out, ever been finished by KO. So his chin is good. It's not like it's bad and he just went through the UFC like not getting knocked out. Like it's not like he's a fraud. Jamahal Hill is very good. He was a world champion. He dominated Glover, who dominated Jiri. You know, it's the signs are all there. If you're picking Jiri in this matchup, you're just wishing for, like, you're just hoping for a miracle because, dude, this is going to be bad for Jiri, I promise you. I feel very strongly and very confident on this pick because Jiri, it only works against guys who have no power. If you can't get KO'd by them, obviously Jiri's tactics work and his craziness, unorthodox style works, you know, against, what's his name, Rakic, it worked because Rakic has no power. He has pillow hands. It's all thud, no power. And obviously in that fight, we all know Jiri was getting dominated. It's kind of how all his fights go. He gets dominated early on. He survives. He keeps it going. He lives on, makes it to the next round. And then the person's a little tired. They get frustrated. They get scared because I'm hitting him with all my best stuff, all my best shots, and they're all landing, but nothing's working. It gets people nervous. It gets people to gas faster. And then Yuri's not going to gas. He's got that killer samurai mindset. He's just going to go for 5 rounds. He's not going to stop. He's going to keep plotting forward, keep throwing. You know, I hope this fight's good, you know, just because, like, this could be one of the last times we see Jiri at the top level of the division. It just will be. Even though he's very favored by the UFC, and he probably could bounce back with one good win after this and be back in the top 5. I don't know, man. It's going to be hard because you just can't survive in this sport with that kind of style, bro. You have to keep your hands up. It's just not going to work for long. And it does seem like Yuri's confidence is getting worse. In the first Alex Pereira fight, he did decent, but he also was not letting his hands go enough. You need to get Alex out of there early. You know that, Jiri. You know you got to get him out of there early. Alex gets better as the fight goes on. He builds into the fight and is a bit plotty and slow at the start. Kind of like Jan. You know, he builds into it. He's confident in the later rounds, while Jiri is, dude, that's not his game to win. The later rounds is not Yuri's game to win. He needs to get the early finish if he wants to get a finish. So, obviously, the Glover fight was different, but that was a crazy 1 out of a million chance of happening. Dude, that fight was so crazy to watch. And all this really does suck to say as a Jiri fan, as a Jamal, again, not a hater, just, we all know Jamal is a clown. So, we all want to see him get KO'd to be amazing. But it also would be amazing to see the villain, the retarded, delusional clown villain, win, you know, and keep going with this and be even more delusional after he wins because you know if he knocks out Jiri, he's calling out Alex, being like, I need that rematch. I'm the guy. Even though we all want to see Big Ank fight Alex. That's the fight that needs to happen. And if it doesn't, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. So yeah, official prediction. It might change slightly, but I've got Jamahal Hill knocking out Yuri Prochazkas. It hurts to say, man. It really does. But I've got him knocking out Yuri in the first round. End of the first round. I think the beginning of the round will be very plotty. But then Jamal's going to say, fuck this. This dude's hands are down. He has no danger for me. He's not that powerful. Because Yuri is powerful, but he doesn't really knock out people with one strike. Obviously, Dominic Reyes is a different story, but that's Dominic Reyes, the chin merchant himself. He's back. I'm hopeful he gets to the top of the division, but his chin's not that good still. So I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm scared for him, and I really hope he wins, but I don't think he's gonna. Official prediction: round 1 TKO, bad stoppage. Yuri's gonna take even more damage, even be more concussed, more chinny in his next couple of fights. It's gonna be bad. This is the downfall of Yuri. It hurts to say, but it's true. Yeah, that's the prediction. That's the video. Hope y'all had a good Christmas. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.